Hello everyone, Santier here with a stream, and it's going to be the last one for a little while. For those who haven't seen my life and channel update video on my YouTube channel, I mentioned it there, but I will be busy and after this until like mid-May, so I'm not going to be able to do a stream for a while, but I have been really enjoying getting back to... What am I even doing quest-wise? Warning the Tengu. I have been really enjoying getting back to streaming. And streaming this playthrough. So I do want to like pick it up again. I don't want to just let it sit off to the side like I have been. Because I've been enjoying getting back into it. So we'll see what actually happens when that time comes, but I'm not sure this is going to be... How long is it going to be? I have like maybe 3 hours at most. So probably be a couple hours. But I want to get this ranger further. I was just checking my bank as well. And I have 2 proofs of legend, so I'd like to ideally, if I can, get that number up a wee bit higher to 5 and get another anniversary something or another. Don't know what it'll be 100%. There's a lot of options available to me for this account, and I'll need to jump through the characters to figure out what I would actually want. But I am excited to get back to it and get this ranger a bit further. In particular, is something that I want to do. Because I don't know if you noticed, but this ranger is only level 9 and just got through Minister Cho's estate. So I'd kind of like to get her to the mainland. That would be good. Rangers need a lot of inventory spots for all sorts of different bows. I don't know if you've ever felt that way, but I certainly have. I guess I have some concern about whether or not I have enough materials to make her armor when I do get to that point, though. I guess I'll find out. This will be nice to be able to equip as well. But that's a little ways away also. Because I'm not an assassin on this character, I don't have to deal with some of the stuff that you deal with when you're an assassin and you go murder the father there. Melandru's statue. Oh, yeah. This is one of the neat things about the game is when you're a higher elevation, ranged attacks go further. But conversely, if you're at a low elevation, they don't go as far. So your range is actually dynamic based upon your elevation relative to your targets. Hey, Star Stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing. It's just I haven't been streaming because I hadn't felt like... Part of it is this new account is just like everybody felt like I was doing the same thing, so I just needed long enough to kind of like get some of that out of my system. So like I've been doing like playing on my main account pretty regularly, or like somewhat regularly, but it's been fun coming back to like streaming this particular playthrough. The anniversary definitely was like, I have an incentive to want to do that again. And this freaking plant. It's all over Kryda as well, that plant. It's a lot of plants don't have hitboxes. Yeah, I play off stream sometimes as well. I've actually done a bunch of, well, a bunch is maybe strong, but I've done some farming of proofs on my main account off stream. And just like doing Great Northern Wall, Augury Rock, Chawbeck Village, Ruins of Mora, Abaddon, and Imperial Sanctum, like several times on a couple of different characters. But like, there's a Sunday play group that I've played with regularly. Like on this past Sunday, we did a successful run of the Underworld in normal mode, which was exciting. I've taken a little bit of a break from that because I was getting a little burnt out on the game at that point, but came back for that. So it'd been like maybe a couple weeks, but yeah, if you see my guild, that's my main account, is the leader. I would like to get this half of the island in Guild Wars 2. It would be neat to see the mountains in particular, and some of the coastlines and stuff. It's interesting, like, how much Guild Wars 1 map Guild Wars 2 doesn't retread. Or, like, how long they've, like, played catch-up and stuff like that. Obviously, they cover different territory as well. There's plenty of things that they cover in Guild Wars 2 that they don't in Guild Wars 1, but... Be very curious to know, just, like, how the anniversary event has affected the numbers. In terms of number of players and stuff. I think that path continues over there, but... I'm going to take this bridge, because I feel like it. It's a cool bridge. I did not spot these cap until just now. Oh, there was some... Was it gruesome ribcage? There's some ribcage or something that was an underworld drop that has the same icon as a bone, and I was very confused. Shenzhen! You have tunnels. And apparently are a necromancer. So that's neat. Yeah, but that was Steam numbers specifically. So I think there's a lot of people who probably play off of Steam, you know? Because I'm not playing through Steam right now. I can never remember if it's Naga Hide or Naga Pelt or what it is that you need for the... Whoa. Kappa over there, we're fighting something. Just getting some screenshots because it's pretty. This game has good art direction. I like these purple flowers in particular. Random quest over here. I should check out. What do you need, sir? Okay, capable. Perhaps I can entice you to escort me to the Airy. Let's see. This is actually really annoying, but like I've already cleared the path, so it's just a matter of retracing my steps and then coming back. Yeah, I like the flower blossoms. It's actually been I like the twisted trunk that you've got going on here is really cool as well. It's been flower season here like where I live, and I've been enjoying cherry blossoms and dogwood and stuff. Yeah, that sounds right. The pelt for the naga oil. Because it's like, I know you need a naga something, and I always feel like I end up with the wrong one. But I can't remember which one it is because they're so similar. Like, they're conceptually the same thing, just using synonyms, right? Hide versus pelt. Okay, Tabo Pa is a very slow walker, so I'm going to look at the ocean and wait for him. Also, I've been playing this game enough that it's been throwing me off when I'm playing Guild Wars 2 because I keep hitting F9 to open my inventory. Because F9 opens this inventory, right? You can see inventory bags up here. And yeah, so I keep throwing myself off by hitting F9 to try to open my inventory in Guild Wars 2 and having it not work. Because I will open up this inventory, which if you have an equipment pouch, will show that as well. But this account has no need of equipment pouches yet. And I'd like to save up Zaishin coins in order to be able to get the 15 slaughters for everyone. That's a long ways off, like when I can actually do Zaishin quests regularly and such. I enjoy Guild Wars 2 well enough at this point, despite its like many design flaws, or at least what I consider to be design flaws. But it took a long time. I remember really enjoying the betas and then playing it for several months after it came out. I definitely played it some during Heart of Thorns and like played through that on one of my characters. But I don't remember much about that. I just remember at one point in time I was just playing it and I realized I was doing stuff just because it was like there is something that needed to be doing and I wasn't actually having fun with it. And that's when I stopped playing it. And then it took like, so that was probably like I'd had world exploration completion on one of my characters and stuff. But that was not that long after the game came out, within a year or two. Probably. It was I missed Living World Season 1, for example. Because I was like not playing at that time. So it took a lot of people being like, no, they've improved stuff with like Path of Fire and End of Dragons and stuff enough for me to eventually be like, okay, I will give this game a try again. I'm like, okay, they have addressed enough of the core gameplay loop that I'm actually having fun with the game. But its design is so... There's a lot of tensions inherent in the design. Just like the core design. And I would deeply, deeply love a post-mortem by ArenaNet on it. On Guild Wars 2. A post-mortem just means the developers are basically giving their evaluation of what they think with the game. We may have had different reasons, though. What was your reasoning? Because, like, I was bored with the combat, and I felt that everything was just too samey and bland. And I feel like they've done a lot to address those issues. See, I am fine with that. Like, I enjoy the Souls games, for example, that are also more active in the combat. I honestly wish that it played more like an action game. I think that would be better for Guild Wars too, but... Yeah, I think the Guild Wars 1 build system is significantly stronger than the Guild Wars 2 build system. I think the Guild Wars 2 build system is where I have a large number of my issues with the game. Like, I did a whole video comparing the build systems between the two, but that kind of goes into some of these details. But the, well, whatever. I'm just going to walk there and uncover the map, because why not? The Guild Wars 2 build system just is so, it is so complicated. I think it's more complicated than the Guild Wars 1 build system, actually, which might sound a little weird at first, but Guild Wars 1's build system is complicated because of the combinatorics, right? Like, you have a bunch of skills that you can choose between. Like, if you have all the skills of your primary and secondary profession, which you eventually will have on heroes, for example, when you're building heroes, you're looking at, like, 200-300 skills. They didn't make it harder to make bad builds, is the problem. Like, so they simplified the skill system in terms of picking skills and made everything else significantly more complicated. That's the issue. Like, the skills themselves are way more complicated. They're harder to remember. They do more things. It's Guild Wars 1 skills are, for the most part, pretty straightforward. And it's fairly easy to remember what each one does. And so, like, you can build up... Sorry, I just saw this grove of trees, and I was like, oh, that's pretty. And so you can build up a remembrance of what the skills do. The only thing that, like, changes them, like, skill effects will add on top of each other. So, like, you know, if I have Read the Wind, that means, oh, this deals extra damage. And maybe there's some interactions there that you need to know. But, like, that's just remembering sort of that effect, right? With Guild Wars 2, yes, there's fewer skills that you're picking between, but you're having to try to remember which ones cleanse conditions, which ones are stun breaks, which ones do this, that, the other thing. And on top of that, you have traits and relics that can change the functionality of your skills. So your skills suddenly can change in mechanical functionality on you, which makes them inconsistent, which becomes very confusing and makes it much harder to remember. Plus, if you switch between different professions, there's a lot of redundancy in a way that I personally find somewhat confusing. And so there's a lot of, what does this skill do again, that I experience with Guild Wars 2, just because skills themselves are so malleable. Hi, you expected me to come from the other direction, and I came from this way, and so you were all staged the wrong direction. Am I supposed to... What's going on here? These people are too busy to talk. Okay, what are we doing? Destroy the second guards. Oh, okay. They just hadn't gotten here yet. And so, like, yeah, it seems like things are fixed, but A, you've got more active skills at a time with weapon swapping and whatever. There's a couple of different things that can go on in that regard. It's actually good to go from that direction because it means my henches are higher level. So you have that. Then you have the absolute atrocious mess that is stats, which have a huge impact on how good your skills actually are, but it's, like, subtle. It's not as straightforward as... I mean, it's not, like, inscrutable or anything, but it's not as straightforward as attribute points in Guild Wars 1. So it's, like, it's still very much a thing that's similar to attribute points, and they even call them attributes still. But actually figuring out how to build attributes is tricky, and then on top of it, it's all linked to your equipment. So if you want to change your build, you have to change all of your gear, unless you have legendaries, in which case you can swap things and experiment and try stuff out. Okay, he wants me to go to Lanark Courtyard. I will do that. More marksmanship, please. So I think by the time you put together, because there are 12 pieces of equipment that affect your stats. There's your 6 armor slots and your 6 trinkets, I think was what they call them. 2 rings, 2 accessories, a backpack, and an amulet that all affect your stats. So there's a ton of different things that affect your stats. And it's just is so complicated. And so many different moving parts. This should go over here. So, my current thing I'm really upset about is, gotcha. I mean, they've changed traits and stuff around a couple of times too, but, so it's very easy to make bad builds because your stats are bad. Not because your skills are bad, but it's kind of like you put on your skills, but then you just like, you know, put 7s in every attribute or 6s in every attribute or whatever. And it's like suddenly you're not effective because you spread yourself way too thin. And it's just, I think the design of attributes is really, really bad, and it makes build experimentation difficult. And once you start figuring some of that out too, it's like, oh, you're on rails because it's like, what are the traits that make this condition damage, or what are the traits that make this power, right? Because you basically don't want to split your damage types. You want to generally like specify in a lot. It is a complicated mess. It is the build system in Guild Wars 2 is like, superficially it looks simpler than Guild Wars 1, but I think it's actually way more complicated because you have so many more little knobs that you're fiddling with, and it's a lot less straightforward what you're doing when you're fiddling with them. And like I said, if you are like, oh wait, I needed a different attribute spread, then you have to change all of your equipment. And it's just like, why did you design this way? Plus, it's like another really weird thing that's just not typically a thing in games as much is you have to choose between defense and offense in the literal sense of like your armor. Like if you want more armor and health, you have to take away from your offensive stats to get those. If you want to be able to heal better, you have to like choose to do that. So it's designed to make people into glass cannons, and that's probably a more fun way to play because then stuff dies, but you can also make yourself super tanky and then you have no damage. And it's just like, this is not like the trade-offs that this is asking the player to make are not interesting. I don't think they're good trade-offs to be asking. Like if you look at like in Guild Wars 1, you aren't sacrificing armor amounts, right? Generally speaking, like there's some complicated corner cases or whatever, but you're not sacrificing armor amounts in order to be able to have more damage. Now maybe you're sacrificing some maximum health to have higher attributes, but it's a very straightforward trade-off that you're making there. And it's like not an insubstantial amount of health for like a superior rune or whatever, but it's just and then on top of that, it's for every piece, it's just so much, like so much of your build is dependent on your equipment. And then there's weapon swapping that can change your stats a little bit, as well as like change your skills and everything. And I don't know, something like, I think there's a lot of other games that have superior build systems to Guild Wars 2. I think Guild Wars 2's build system would be better in full legendary gear, because then you could actually like experiment and not be locked behind their system. But that has its own issues. I really did not need to de-shot Ethereal Light because it is easily interrupted. We have a bunch of people wandering here. It was basically like the more I learned about how Guild Wars 2 builds work, the more like terrible the whole system seemed. That's been my experience. But I still managed to have fun with the game, so. And I enjoyed the fashion. So the answer is kind of. The Wizards Vault has introduced starter kits that allow you to be able to get Generation 1 legendary weapon precursors and the gift for that weapon, as well as one of either a Gift of Might or Gift of Magic. So that means that, for example, if you have the Obsidian Shards and the Mystic Clovers and the Gift of Battle and Gift of Mastery and stuff, like, you basically have 2.25. That's not quite right. 2.125 of what you need to put into the Mystic Forge to get your legendary. So it's like kind of reasonable to get a Gen 1 legendary with that scenario, that setup, which is the only reason why I have I have a legendary dagger and the legendary greatsword from that. If I had enough Mystic Clovers and Ecto, I could get, which I wonder what Ecto is at now. I could get 2.8. Wow, it's continued to go down. Wild. Obby Shards are down too. They are 2. These were both 2.9 on Sunday. They're now. Sapphires are worth more than either. That's absolutely bonkers bank going on right now. Our bonkers mat prices. What about regular mats? Yeah, stuff has been kind of fluctuating. Scales are up a little bit. Interesting. Yeah, it's an excellent time to buy Ecto. I've bought some on my main and will probably buy some more. Where was I? But yeah, so Gen 1 Legends, generally speaking, are much easier to make, provided you have the some of the challenging materials that you need to acquire. In particular, because you get the precursor and the gift for that weapon from the thing. That said, other legends are still a massive pain in the rear end. Legendary sigils are kind of a problem, but not like the worst. The legendary relic, I think, is way too overpriced. So the legendary relics, the problem that I have with the legendary relic is it requires 25 of its moat, whatever mystic thingy they call it. And each one of those requires a regular relic, which is like fine, but it also requires 3 stacks of lucent crystal, which is an absolutely absurd ask. Let's see, 17 is not enough. I still am going to put a little bit more in marksmanship, but I need another level or 2. Let's just get these 2. Masaharu. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. There's probably some stuff that I will want to acquire here. Antidote Signet would actually be really good to pick up at some point. I'm not going to worry about any of that skill purchasing stuff right now. I just want to get through the story. But the legendary relic just requires an absolutely absurd quantity of lucent crystal to make, because it's 750 times 25 lucent crystal, not motes but crystal, and so it's absolutely ridiculous. And the legendary relic doesn't even get you access to all relics right away. You still have to like unlock the relic, as it were, for your account in order to be able to like use it on the mystic relic. So it's like that, and then relics are basically a slottable trait. They replaced the 6th tier of runes sets. A lot of those are now relic effects, for example. So it's just like absolutely like you need relics for your build, and being able to customize your relic for your build is super important. But the other thing that they did is they wanted to compensate the people who had already made legendary runes by, if anybody had a legendary rune, they got a free legendary relic when the system was first being rolled out. But that's like, it's too late now. But that means legendary relics were like significantly cheaper to acquire at one point in time, and they are significantly more expensive now, and that is, it feels very unfair, like considering how valuable they feel like they are in terms of being able to do build customization. So I am quite upset about that. I am sliding all over the place. Okay, I want to not be at the front line. That's what Lucas is for. Yeah, not having expertise is making Zojin's shuttle a lot weaker. Should maybe look at potential bow attack options. Yeah, so I read through it. It's not a problem for me because I'm running at 60 FPS. What the issue is that the server runs at around 20 to 40 FPS. And what happens is the client is basically like, it's doing some interpolating to predict where you should be, and higher FPSs cause greater quantities of desync. So the update was basically to force a maximum of 90 FPS to reduce desync issues between the two things. I don't mind killing this guy too, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a lot more efficient, right, to run it at a lower FPS. And like, that's probably somewhat of an abstraction because it's probably how often it's doing positional and calculations and other things like that. Like, it doesn't need to do it more often than that. But what the sort of end results of all of that is that the client is basically guessing what happens, and then the server gives it the word of truth, and the higher the FPS of the client side is, the more likely it is that there will be some sort of disconnect in the calculations that result in a desync between those, and that causes the rubber banding issues. It's not entirely surprising that that's how things work. keep in mind, like, Guild Wars 1 was designed for efficiency. So, like, the lower the FPS that the server runs at, the more like, the fewer packs it has to send, the more efficient it can be. Yeah, so check your frames per second. I think... Where do I have... Where is that even set? Is that under general? I'm personally content with 60 FPS. I forget where you set it. I'd have assumed it's under graphics, but maybe not. Oh yeah, refresh rate is just... Because I'm on windowed full screen, I guess it has some influence on it as well. What does this quest want me to do? Okay, so I can kill the regular mountain yetis, but I need to leave Snagtooth alone. So yeah, if you have a lot of options, basically try lowering your FPS. It's basically what it comes down to. I can't see him for my reward. He's too busy fighting to talk to me. I don't know why this guy has a monastery credit. Thank you for the stuff there, guy. I don't know. I feel like 60 FPS is fine, so I don't know. I remember in the day playing the game at like 40, 45 FPS. That was back when I was playing it at 1024 by 768. Wonder if... I have an ancient laptop that I played it on, I'm pretty sure. And I wonder if I have an old version of the DAT file on that. That'd be interesting for people who dive into that. Rigor Mortis. This prevents me from blocking, which made my use of a block skill less effective. And then faint-heartedness on top of it all. Man. Well, the good news is I'm about to level up. That'll help a lot. Because that should hopefully mean I can get to 9 marksmanship and thus be able to swap to a bow that is better. Considerably. I like snow. Come on, I've got to be almost there. 37 more experience. We were told to expect you, and it's quite early, truth be told. Okay, we need to go clear out this area. Cool, cool. I got a ritualist one that I'm going to give to my necromancer. Or is on a death head. It was like on a death magic staff with the ritualist staff wrapping, and I'm like, this is exactly what I want to be doing on an MM. So it's like pretty dang close to ideal. There's the level up. Okay, bow upgrade. Oh yeah. I kind of don't want to use power shot now because it'll worsen my damage. Oh man, look at how much meatier those are now. Oh, that is like a set of scorpions. That's really cool. This is the scorpion's clutch. Yeah, you can see the yellow streak, but it's a little hard against the snow. Hey, Zo. Let's see, my goal is to do Zendai June, get to Kaining, and from there, I will figure out what I'm doing. But I'm not going to do the 15 attribute point quests until I've gotten heroes. Because heroes are going to help a lot. Probably I'm going to want to hop to Eye of the North to get the heroes there, and Nightfall and get the heroes there. And ideally hit up like Chawbeck Village and stuff so I can get some of those things. I think I'd maybe like to use those 5 to get the expertise sword. Maybe. Expertise sword is kind of neat. The problem with all of those, though, is you not having skills and such. Okay, you take care. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Sorry, stuff. Man, that faint-heartedness makes my attacks to feel like they take so long. I'm getting a lot of feathered crests, which is nice. Those actually drop a good number of feathers, too, in salvage. Definitely worth salvaging those. Looks like a frog king over there or something. Seeing things in these little bits of rock. And down it goes. Oh, we're seeing each other again, but you're not attacking me on side. Wahahaha. If Goal Hookbeak ever comes back again. Oh, he did just drop from the allies. No, maybe he didn't. I don't know what's going on with him. Okay, whatever. Long hair Yetis. These are the ones that are healers. That's right. This is actually higher than normal because I'd done something that put a bunch of allies in my ally list. I don't remember what it was offhand. Yeah. It's not like stopping mending is exactly a high priority concern, but... I guess he has been in my allies list. I don't know. Now I'm feeling very confused. Okay, being weakened is especially bad for me because it means I no longer meet weapon attribute, but it's always bad for me, so who cares? Oh man, my sprint lasts longer because I have 5 strength. Neat. My power attack does a whole plus some damage. I wonder if the strength suffix would be... I don't know. It would actually be interesting to put a mysticism suffix on the expertise sword because theoretically you could use some ranger or some there's some melee attacks, not scythe attacks, in scythe mastery, and you could potentially do some fun stuff with the sword there. Of course, you're better off just using a scythe because scythes are better than swords, but you know, just arbitrarily talking. Is this a flat bow? Yeah, they do like to give you flat bows, which is fine. Flat bows have the highest attack speed alongside short bows, but have the longest range alongside long bows. They just have a big arc, so it's easy for them to stray and not hit their target. In contrast to recurve, I think is the tightest arc. Longbows have a slower attack speed, but better accuracy than flatbows, basically. Like, their whole everything with bow design in this game is like overly complicated, but kind of neat. Where it's like, oh, recurve bows have a really slow attack rate, but they also, oh, well, that's a little unfortunate. But they also have really, really good accuracy, so they're reliable for actually hitting your target. Which also makes them good for interrupting, right? Because they have a low flight time, so they're more likely to be successful interrupts. Interrupting with a flat bow, if you're not using Read the Winds, is not a great prospect. Waju Falls. Are these the Waju Falls? I don't know. Theoretically, this big open area is part of Guild Wars 2. I'm just not sure where. They have Link-Eye Township. I don't know. I was just in Shing Jea doing the meta earlier because it's part of the weeklies. But I don't remember squat about how the layouts compare. Perhaps we'll live on as a pair of Sue's minions. Following the steps of my cousin Nika, who was the first who showed, like, okay, so there is a really, really good, like, anime that takes place in Shing Jea. Like, you can't convince me otherwise that, like, the story of these students and everything could be fleshed out to a really good anime. It's like the elite school of the area. You've got people from all walks of life coming here, learning their craft. You've got the different headmasters. You can have inter-student drama. You can have, like, the big cousin or big sibling things going on of, like, oh, people who are out established in the world. And, like, there's a really good, like, fantasy school anime, which is absolutely a genre. You can't tell me otherwise, because I've seen too many. That, like, frankly, it'd be really sweet. Or could be really sweet, depending upon how it's done. It's always the execution. 1, 2, 3. Ha! Successfully de-shotted Jagged Strike. Retire champion. Ow. Successfully exploded. Retire in pain. Jagged Strike has an increased attack speed, as I recall. So, like, actually getting that, I was, like, trying to time things out to figure out when to interrupt that. So I feel really good about hitting that. There's just a bound spirit over there. Thank you for the help. And we'll accompany you to Zen Daijun. Also, I'm going to grab Miller Quang's quest over here. I do not care about that right now. I wonder how, so, like, in English, there's, like, Smith and Miller are fairly common last names. So is, like, Cooper, for example, which is somebody who makes barrels. So, like, these are all, like, profession related, right? Potter is another one, you know, somebody who makes pots. So I wonder if the surnames of other languages, because this is not something I've looked into, I should, but I wonder if the surnames of other languages do a similar sort of thing, where it's like, oh, this last name is because, like, the other common thing is for somebody to be named after their father. So, like, my understanding is the Micmac ending is like son of or child of or whatever. So, like, MacDonald would be like son of Donald or whatever, child of Donald. And you have, like, Williamson, you know, the son of William. So, like, that's the other sort of common last name, like surname. But I wonder if, like, the profession-based last name is a thing that you have in other languages. And if, like, some of the more common last names are because of that sort of thing happening. I'd be very curious to know. Hey, Master Togo. Yep. We go from one set of henchmen to a different set of henchmen. I need to clear out my inventory a wee bit. Also, I should check. There is a way to get to this person, right? I should check to... I need to go back to Saitung and see if I can trade in monastery credits for... I have just done a complete lap of this place because this guy was hidden behind the rise. But I wanted to see if I can trade in the monastery credits I have for another rune of superior bag space. Also, I'm going to grab this because 4,000 experience is no joke and would be nice to have later. Quartermasters, that's what I'm looking for here. I replaced the thing that I'm using to cover my mouse pad, and this one being fresh is a nice change of pace. Okay, these are weapons. Are these all weapons? I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it means I should go to the monastery. I love how fast this game loads. Okay. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about skills and bag space. Rune of holding. That is exactly what I wanted. Thank you very much. It's 500 gold, so I'd rather get it for free. How many? Oh, okay. I'm not gonna worry about the Shunlight chest. I'm just gonna talk to Zhao. That's not really what I'm looking for. Scavenger Strike is definitely a good one, though. I'll go ahead and... Actually, I'm going to check Antidote Signet just to make sure. Antidote Signet. Oh, it is available on a quest and prophecies. Okay, I'm probably just going to wait to get it then. As nice as it would be to have, it looks like I should be able to get it off of a quest in Muguma Jungle, so I kind of want to wait for that on account of it saves me money. And monetary efficiency is the word of the day. I am accumulating a nice supply of those. Monastery credits can also be stored there for later use. I do want to expert salvage these stolen supplies because I feel like I remember them being able to have some good stuff. I'm not sure about the rest of those things. I'm going to go talk to a merchant. I'm going to wander around a lot. Also, I'm going to go grab this quest from Yazo Ying that I will probably forget about and let languish in my quest log for about 3 years and then finally maybe consider doing. I'm sure there are some quests that I've had on characters that I've had there for like over a decade. But we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk to Ji Chao, who is one of the merchants in the area. Okay. We're not going to talk to Ji Chao. We're going to talk to Erming. Erming is equally useless. Okay. 17 to 21. I mean, that's enough. Bludgeoner goes from 18 to 21. That's a little less good. Okay, this bow staff is not worth. I'm just going to sell most of that. Saitung Harbor probably sells an expert salvage kit, right? Shinichiro? Or something. Wait, that's materials. I don't want materials. I want merchant. Aiko. Yes, expert kit here. Excellent. Thank you. That is what I wanted. Yeah, see, I got a tempered glass vial and 3 plant fibers. That was super worth salvaging. These are ostensibly useful. I mean, they are. I used some the other day to make my necromancer's armor headpiece. I don't know where I think I'm going. Okay. Somebody needs more skills. That somebody is moi. But the good news is I'm about to level up. Roughly, for certain definitions of about to. More importantly, I'm about to get to the mainland, which will enable vast strides in my capabilities. I am choosing to keep really bad armor, however, so hopefully I don't regret that with exploding. I would prefer not to stand next to that guy if I can. Yeah, the temple there, absolutely, etc. This elementalist is pain and suffering and doesn't have a lightning orb to use for a while. Well, the good news is I am a ranger, so I do have a bunch of additional armor against elemental damage, by which I mean 30, which is over my base amount of armor, which is nice, I suppose. Okay, how do we get where we're trying to go? Okay, stopped that, which is good. Ow. That was less good. This is going to be weird. I don't typically do local quarter for Vizuna, so it's going to be weird doing local quarter for Vizuna. Kind of want to get a green armor. That's a lot of necros. Have we considered fewer necromancers? This just in, they have considered fewer necromancers and they opted for that many. So I don't know what to say. I am going to pick up this Plagueborn armor though, because it's loot and I like my loot. We're going to go north past the waterfall because that is my preference and it has been for quite some time. Marauder shot wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be great. If I'm remembering what the skill does correctly. Also, I am slapping this bad boy on as soon as it recharges. Thank you. Doesn't this give you free sickness of capture off of a quest somewhere? Probably not until Kainang, right? They like to give you a sickness of capture quest so they can teach you about it. This is a good idea. Incidentally. And I approve. However, I don't recall where you get such a quest. I'm gonna take a risk in frenzy here. Oh, excellent. Some more expertise. There's the temple. Still kind of a big deal in Guild Wars 2 after a fashion. It's a big deal as a landmark. They have a whole mini dungeon around underneath it that used to be part of the daily rotation, and that would come up way too freaking often. Like, okay, so real talk, I think the mini dungeons as like a regular thing in the rotation, actually good idea. The problem is I don't think they should have been dailies. I think they should have been weeklies. That's where I would put them. Because they feel a bit too involved to be dailies. Especially that one under Zendaijin. But all of them feel like they're a bit too involved for me to want them as dailies. But I do like the idea of them being a weekly. Oh. Yep. That definitely hurt when I had Frenzy up. I should have sprinted out of that, but I didn't. So. Whoops. Whoopsie doodle. I like whoopsie doodle. Is fun to say. A word that I'm particularly fond of is pie, because it can be both the food and the Greek letter / constant, which is a fun bit of diversity and variety in meaning, which is something that I enjoy. Also, we're being attacked by some Ravagers, which look like what happens when you ask somebody making Doom to draw you a dog. We need a demon dog. This is what they returned. I don't know what it was supposed to have been, but that's what it is now. We did have the whole menagerie that was making animals sick, so it's not surprising that animals would get twisted in that way. But you know. Okay, we're coming up towards the moment of truth, which is Yijo-tan absolutely wrecking our faces. Also, I'm going to hang out here for a moment because everybody is in pain, and I would prefer that to stop. Okay. These I will ID for increased monetary value, one hopes. Oh man, I am looking forward to getting Ranger Elites, like, can't even begin to explain. Missed Jagged Strike that time. That's okay. 7 bones! The rest of them were ground to powder. But we recovered 7 of them. Don't think about this too hard. That is absolutely my inventory and not the thing that I was trying to bring up, which was my minimap. Don't know where that guy thought he was going, but he did not make it. Whee! Arcing shot with a flat bow is really funny. It has a lower curve, so it's just like, whee! Just shoot an arrow straight up and watch as it slowly comes back down to earth. You do lead targets in this, which means that if you change your direction, it causes projectiles to miss, which is actually like really cool, and I don't think Guild Wars 2 does that, but it does its calculations based on like how long it, like, your arrows always take the same amount of time to move, I believe, to reach the target or something. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but they control for constant in a way that makes it easy to do that math. So I think it's like variable velocity with constant arrival time rather than constant velocity with variable arrival time, which makes it a lot easier to do leading math. Also, I think we're getting attacked from behind, so I want to make sure I'm handling that before I go elsewhere. I would like to get these minions. Also, Savage Shot would be an extremely welcome addition to my repertoire. Do I have the... Yes, Lost Treasure is really important to do, because that's the 15 attribute point quest from Ranmusu. Pew! I'm going to clear these guys out too, just that way they don't surprise me. Read Through Window Show is so good for making your interrupts actually work as a ranger. They can always be a little spotty. Okay. Afflicted Jijo is by far the more dangerous target here. You do not want to stand in Spirit Rifts. That is why. Ah. Okay, he got interrupted that time, but with some interrupt that did not disable it, so not D-shot is what we're saying. Shing Jea is also kind of a problem, but not as big of a problem. Okay. Now it's time to clear out the temple itself, which is slightly modified in Guild Wars 2 to have more entrances. I'm not as concerned. Yes, we need to get Kana. It's important to remember that all of these afflicted were people at one point. The affliction was pretty awful. I'm going to pick up this armor. Oh man, hit spirit transfer. That's a really good interrupt. Against Retribution is the wrong time to use Frenzy, so I'm not going to. I'll get those from the mission end screen. I mean, unless I can... Zunra died, but Zunra is not important for completing this mission, so... Saitong Harbor. Excellent. I know I'm skipping all the cutscenes, and that's just how I'm rolling with this. Minor wilderness survival. Interesting. That's probably worth less than the Radiant, but... I don't think we get attacked here. I think I can just walk in here and it's just the marketplace. That is my recollection of how this works. Is there a skill for Signet? I need to check to see if there's a quest for Signet of Capture. Also, I'm level 12, which is extremely low. Hang on. Signet of Capture. Yeah, okay, it's Minister's Test and Kaineng Center. I thought there would be one. And I was correct in my assumptions. No inventory space. That can indeed be a problem. That's going to be worth hanging on to. This stuff is still somewhat low value. I got a low value Fortitude Staff wrapping off of that ID. Which is, you know, what it is. Okay, that one was actually 51, which is actually not bad. How is my ID kit? 12 charges. Probably doesn't hurt to replace it soon. I have the funds, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to just grab an extra. Is there a skill person here? I know there is in Kaineng Center. But okay. Right, now this gives me several options for ways to go at this point, because one more. Talon Silverwing. I will never take Panaku with me because I dislike him as a character. So if I can avoid using Panaku, I will, on account of I dislike him as a character. Okay. So my goal now is to meander my way up to the Eye of the North, Kaineng Center, these various places. Not 100% in the order that I just stated, because I can't get into the Eye of the North until I get to Kaineng Center. I like this little storefront area. I think it's pretty neat. That's one of the things... I like New Kaineng as well. I do like this the red wood motif that you get in a lot of Kaineng Center, or a lot of Kaineng City. And it'd be neat to... there's a decent amount of... I don't know. I'd have to think about New Kaineng City. Or New Kaineng in Guild Wars 2, but... I like New Kaineng, but it is different vibes. And I would really like to see Raisu Palace area, but we shall see what they choose to do. We won't find out until the fall because they're pushing back the next Guild Wars 2 expansion. Which is fine. They want to be able to put more polish into it without crunching, and I approve of that 1000%. People who are crunching are going to make worse decisions and worse stuff because they're tired, and tired people do worse work. This is a well-known thing. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to run past these guys on account of they are terrifying to me. A person with 25 on my armor level. And not, the 70 that Ranger Max is at. It is nice having slightly longer sprints. Oh yeah, Mox. Let's talk to you, buddy. You are the one. Thank you. Thank you, Mox. I like being the one. Miniature Prince Rurik says hi. Okay. I've got several different things to do here. You have the quest to take me to the Eye of the North. You have just some random quest that I'm going to take. You have some random quest that I'm going to take. What do you have? Look to guard, feed the hungry. This bard has an empty copy of Shira's Return, which I want. Kowlin is for a different thing entirely. Hanlo, you have a quest. I'm just going to go around collecting quests, and then I will sort out what I actually have later. I need to talk to Bujo about some random something or another. I don't know. The Ampha, and this is probably the quest that I think it is, probably. Jin Cyan, who are you? The True Life Exploits of Xenos. I have read all of his works countless times. In fact, he inspired me to write my own thing. I don't... whatever. I'm not here for lore right now. I've done being here for lore. I assume that I read her thing, but I don't know for sure. Okay. I need this. I cannot afford a full set of max armor, which is unfortunate, but also just the reality. What armor sets are available to me? I also can't because I don't have very much tanned hide. Shing Jea armor, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Yeah, I need a lot more tanned hide before I can kind of start getting that. I'm even worse off on cloth. Canthan, which uses cloth and fur, which I'm also not exactly flush with. Okay. And Ascalonian armor. Is that what I'm in right now? Yeah. Which uses leathers, which I also don't have quantities of. Okay, cool. So what I've successfully discovered is, unless I am okay, I have plenty of cloth. If I'm, but I don't have plenty of fur. Do I have? I have 5 char hides, so that's 1 more fur. Excellent. I like having 6 fur instead of 5 fur. But I'm not a big fan of the Canthan style, TBH. So, I'm going to continue grabbing quests. That is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Shinepo. Yes, that should get me back to Tyria, which would be good. Linro gets me... Yeah, that's Cormier. My current priority is to find the person who gives me the quest that gives me the Signet of Capture. That is my current priority. It might be Jason here. Okay, I need to get an Orient Tome from the Amva because the Orients have to deal with the Signets of Capture. Okay, this is definitely more involved than I remember offhand, but that's okay. Let's go look at the skills that I can buy off of Michiko here. Focused shot is pretty good. Marauder shot. Okay, all of your non-attack skills are disabled. I need to check. I'm gonna grab like a platinum, and I will not spend all of that. I need to check if Savage Shot is off of a skill quest that I will end up being able to get. Blood and Smoke and Ends back. Okay, yes, I can get that off of skill quest, so I'm not gonna get that now. I will grab Focus Shot. Needling Shot is nice, but I don't think I want to get that now. And I will pick up Marauder Shot and Sundering Attack. Sundering Attack will be nice to have in general, but it's not a priority. Necessarily, but it'll be nice to have. Okay. There's some other cool stuff in here, but nothing I'm wanting to leap out and grab. I want to keep my costs there kind of low. Okay, so the big thing is I would rather run... Focus Shot is nice because it disables all of your other attack skills, which is not great, but it's a great, like, if this is your only attack skill. I'm going to put on Marauder Shot instead of that one. Which, like, it disables my other stuff for 10 seconds, which is... It has its own problems, but... it's fine for now. Okay, so I want to go do the crack. This will take me up to Eye of the North, where I can go get heroes, which will be very good. Also, I can boot Talon in favor of Mox, which seems decent. I don't have Irresistible on this account yet, which is kind of annoying. Let's just go ahead and put Remove Hex on there, and sure, why not Imbue Health? Sure, that seems like a build. I'm going to kick Losha in favor of Eve as well, who should be in this outpost. Eve has Blood Ritual, which allows her to help energy manage the monks, or the healers, I should say, just more broadly, because that's what's accurate. Obviously not as good as like being able to bip or whatever, but I will absolutely take that over not having that, so. I do eventually want to get the other one to this point blank shot. They're the same skill. Also, this is boosting my attributes, which is nice. I am getting tactics because I have a tactics skill, which is fine. Does this affect armor? No. At least it doesn't say that it does anything to armor. Those guys are annoying. This map is so cool to explore. You can do it during Halloween. It takes you into this map but doesn't have the normal pathway barriers, so you can just freely explore the whole thing. I think I want to go this way if this connects around. I think it does. I don't have a ton of time left for streaming today. I'm trying to decide where to kind of prioritize things. I must have already done Minister Cho's estate on her since I didn't get a proof from Zendaijin. So what that means is that my priority is if I want to get another 3 today, I either need to go do stuff on another character, which is an option. Or let's see, I need to go to Chobek Village. Let's see. I need to go to Chobek Village, and what would the other good ones be? Delesio Seaboard? It's an option. Oh, this is also getting rid of my strength because it's setting my attributes. That's really funny. That's really funny. Makes sense, but just amuses me as well. Yeah, I don't know. It might be possible to do Nornbear, but my level would be so... I mean, I'd still be in this stuff, so... Like, Delesio, Chabek... I don't want to do Vizina Square right now. Not until I'm level 20 and have all of my attribute points. I might hop to a different character to do stuff. That's realistically the best option I have. Which direction do I need to go? That area is kind of neat. We're not going that way. We're going the direction of the pings, and we're going to get the Eye of the North, like, song soon. Yep, there it kicks in. There's the golden statue of Melandru. If it wasn't sending my attribute points, this would actually be slightly better for me in terms of sprint, specifically. Not anything else. I don't have to, by the way, get it. I can just get stuff next year as well. It's not a huge deal. But it would be nice to make use of those proofs of legend, you know? Just getting characters far enough to be able to do something with them is a tricky matter. Like, Chopback and Consulate Docks would be pretty sweet to do for them, but that requires getting so much further. Because Consulate Docks is Cornin. Counts as Corna. For whatever random reason. Well, probably because the mission takes place in Gandhara, so that is... Well, that just gave me a level. Oh, yes, I know. Introduction to Jorah. Okay, the other question is, can I afford... Okay, I don't care about any of that. Yeah, that unlocks... I've unlocked Vec and Ogden, which is nice. I'll need to get them set up. Tyrion. Ah, but I don't have linen. I have like 7 bolts of linen. Which is like shy of what I need to be able to make this. I could make a helmet though, because 4 scales is quite affordable. I currently have an expertise hat. I think... let's see. All of this cloth and then... Should have some scales. Yeah, I've got plenty of scales. And that's like a nothing burger of a piece of armor. Okay, so I now have 70 armor hat. So anybody who hits me in the head is going to be sorely disappointed. I'm going to go ahead and hide this for now. Oh, I can sell these things to you. Thank you. This guy does do a hero thing. I'm not going to worry about that or attributes at the moment. I am going to set up Uvek and Ogden. Make somebody very upset and not give Vec his thing, but it's fine. Superin is the thing that I was talking about not giving him. I often like to make him divine favor oriented. But right now he's going to play the role of healer. You give him Gift of Health, that'd be a terrible choice. Okay, now I just need some henchmen to flesh this out. Eve, Sin, Lena, and Herda, whose name is an anagram for Earth, and she's an Earth Ellie. Okay. I'm not going to worry about his little quest right now. I just want to go get Gwen, who is this direction, and also access to the Eye of the North, which is also this direction. And also advance against the destroyers, technically. Yeah, hey there. To you as well, Jor. It's interesting to me how the sense of scale in Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2 feels different. I think Guild Wars 1's map feels a bit bigger than Guild Wars 2's map somehow, but in some places that's not the case. Eye of the North feels bigger in Guild Wars 2 to me than it does in Guild Wars 1, but it wouldn't actually surprise me if they're the same relative size. This is a weird stretch that I normally don't walk on because there's nothing actually here, as it were. There is a Ranger Elite in this immediate vicinity. There's some other thing that I was wanting to check for Ranger Elites now that I'm thinking about it, and I don't remember what. What is this map called again? Ice Cliff Chasms. Yeah, you can get Prepared Shot here, which actually wouldn't be bad to pick up. Nibjorg.
Who sent you?
Always feels a little bit like you're cheating when you
Who goes there?
interrupt their bear form. Now the question is, how much experience do I get from these like level 28 enemies that are like 15 levels higher than I am? Oh, I do terrible damage. Yeah, Prosper me up. 35. Not bad. I'd probably be getting more if it wasn't split between so many people. But then I would also be trying to solo these guys, which sounds like an absolutely miserable time. I mean, my damage is not terrible. Just my armor is arguably bad. Also, this is a very loud song. Or a loud part of a song, I should say. I'd rather not have quicksand come down things. Well, can't avoid it. This tree is in the way of my attacks. Interesting. Biggest thing, honestly, is that loot here salvages better.
Who goes there?
I would rather you didn't hit me.
Never anger a Norn.
Yep. I might buy a signative capture and just go get prepared shot. Be an improvement over marauders. I feel like I remember it being around this lake somewhere. It's kind of a cool vista. I might actually check that. Yeah, okay, it's not far for sure.
This is impressive, even by assurance.
Yep, it's impressive by everyone's standards, thank you. Also, somewhere I dropped a bunch of frames. I don't know what that was about, but hopefully the stream didn't drop out or anything. It's just some dropped frames. I just noticed that. Maybe I have too much going on my computer, I don't know.
Who goes there?
I do. Body shot, absolutely. Yeah, give me 346 gold. Body shot, I definitely want. Volley, I definitely want. Bunch of these are not skills I'm wanting to pick up now. Poison tip signet's decent. I do want to grab a signet of capture. Actually, okay, I need like 80 gold for a second one. Wait, I think it might be more than that. I think it might be 105. I'm gonna buy a couple signets of capture and call that good. Okay. I mean, everything is part of the process of getting where I needed to go, right? You do, like, I'm not getting armor here because, lol, I can't afford that in any way, shape, or form, and I'm also not high enough. Because this is the, regional armor.
Report in.
I do want to get the book.
I'm afraid I'm busy.
Okay, I need to go talk to Gwen in the Hall of Monuments first. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this party for the moment and do that. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Hey Kims, this does not matter to me in the slightest. Okay, hey Gwen.
How can I help?
Thank you. Look deep into the pool. I don't want to miss anything. First vision. Yeah, okay, I'm bored. Like, I've seen that before.
How can I help?
Is looking at some destroyers and talking about some destroyers. It's important, but like,
Interesting.
Right now,
And well met.
my priority is elsewhere. Namely, it's in getting farther. And right now it's capturing a skill. Okay, Gwen. Gwen has some elite options, which is nice. Probably put her at 8, 10. Yeah, that seems good. Chaos Storm, this, the mantra. Recovery, a natural signet's a really nice option. And power spike, maybe? Or energy burn. Actually, I'm feeling drain enchantment. And then everybody's favorite skill, resurrect. These guys are fine. Drop that for signal of capture. Make my way up towards gunner, probably. Sin and
Gods protect you.
Lena.
You honor me.
Man, if we can do that 10,000 experience points, is that seriously how many? 10,000 experience is a lot for a level 13 character. That's a level. So that's deeply appealing. A bit of a tough one, though. Speaking of skills, though, I'm going to slot on volley. Volley will strip read the wind, however, so... Body shot, maybe? I don't know if we were doing cracked armor with... Oh, yeah, Vex doing cracked armor right here with lightning strike or whatever. Okay. We have some cracked armor, so this can potentially do something. Excellent. Yes, let's go. I don't know why I'm continuing to hold on to these sparklers. Hello, Jorah.
How can I help you?
Checking the Norn Bear. Excellent. I'm gonna go to talk to Og. There's the boss should be up that general direction somewhere. I really feel like they... I think that
Who sent you?
might be the boss I need, actually. Now, it feels weird not applying a thing. Yep, that's the boss I need right up there. Which is like a non-bow with volley, because volley strips your preparations, and I'm using it right now because it's one of the better skills I have access to, but... Got it. By it, I mean Troll Unguent. Somebody got Troll Unguent. That's the important thing. Keen. That's nice. Okay, cool. I have an elite skill. It's not ideal at the moment, but... I mean, plus 22 damage is not bad. Frankly. Okay, I finally have an elite ranger, a ranger elite skill unlocked, which feels like an absolutely enormous improvement to my situation. I feel like standing there is a really bad spot to be. So prepared shot, my first ranger elite. I'm going to use it because it does damage. Yeah, let's go to Gunner's Hold. Some really pretty frost crystals over here. That makes me think of a Svanir monument. Which would be premature. Their culture's not set up when
Who sent you?
Svanir himself that we're still interacting with, you know.
Who sent you?
Those are so much better to salvage out than to get your random nonsense with that I can't even begin to explain to you why I would never want one of those. They're gonna give you plant fibers, and so exchanging the possibility of plant fibers for those is just not worth it. I wonder if I can get up to tracking the Norn Bear. It'd be nice to actually get Punishing Shot, but that's... As far as I know, you're capturing that in the Southern Shiver Peaks, and that is not... That is the opposite of a joke to go get.
Who goes there?
Like, that's a real pain to go get.
Who goes there?
Yeah, I know. You're unimpressed with those alone kills, and that is fine with me. Crippling Shot is also available along the way, and is something I may want to go grab, but for right now, I just want to rush my way into Norhart Domains. And that absolutely got my party, like, partially wiped, and that is just how it's going to be.
Are you hunting something?
How would you feel if I said I'm hunting Norn?
Are you hunting something?
Okay, Norn Bear Ambush. There's these Norn Commoners. Yeah, there's the Savage Norn Bear. The Spirit World Retreat happened. Gets that thing out of here, advances the quest, I guess. And volley is definitely a skill that's nice to have. I'm probably going to just swap body shot out for okay, so what I'm probably going to do is swap that over to there, swap out body shot for read the wind, and I can keep volley and use it, but I don't have to, like, volley all the time, as it were.
You seek the dwarves?
This will be good to do at some point in time. I'm going to actually just leave that there for now. The other one over there, too. I want to go talk to Gunner. Literary Rurik.
Why are you here?
Yeah, he can make hero armors, but I don't have any of those, so it is largely irrelevant. Your elephant. I definitely want to be able to get better armor, but it's the whole tanned hide and also not having money thing that happens in these games. It's really crimping that style. I'd like to take out these char groups because they're worth a lot of experience points.
Who goes there?
They are, however, rather large groups. I'm going to sacrifice my preparation in order to be able to hit more foes at once when the groups are this large. Maybe. Okay, I need to not be standing there. Yep, that was definitely a pull. Probably should have brought another Signet of Capture with me in case I run into what's-his-face, but... whatever. Crippling Shot's not that important to capture right now. Prepared Shot is a much, much more useful skill to have. Okay, I don't like this extra aggro we've managed to develop for ourselves. Okay, let's not stand there. Oh yeah, some of those are some real good hits. Some of those are not standing around in Firestorm. Yeah, I know, you're gonna get me. I think they might be buffing my armor here as well. But I'm not entirely sure, because I definitely feel like I ought to be taking more damage than I am from some of these things. Honestly, I'm not surprised to wipe against some of these groups, because they are a lot of enemies. Okay, this is not a joke of a group. This is a real dangerous group. Yeah, the firestorms... getting hit by like 4 firestorms at once is not good for your health. We have decreased their numbers, I think, somewhat. I thought that guy would be close enough to hit, but I was wrong. Okay, that right there helped because we split them into multiple hordes. Yeah, we're basically gonna do this and then go turn the quest in. Like, our death penalty is way too freaking high to actually like play through on this amount. These flame shielders are a real problem. Ward Keeper. Stopped gloat. That's something. No deep freeze. Okay, we're getting them. Let me go ahead and start volleying here. You know what? We just took out like a huge chunk of the enemy forces. So I'm content with this party wipe. It was a successful one. There's a reason this quest is worth 10,000 experience points. And it's that this group is quite potent. Okay, now that it's just these rangers, should be a little bit more manageable. Okay, that should be that quest done. Yes. Okay, I'm going to just run across the battlefield, making sure I pick up all of the loot. On account of there is stuff that I did not grab already on the ground. And I would like it in my pockets. Yep. Okay. Excellent. I'm going to go turn this quest in.
I've heard much of you.
Winds is absolutely terrible. Even Vanguard Assassin support's a very good skill, but I'm not going to get it right now. Oh, I took off my tactics skill, so it's no longer giving me points in tactics. That's interesting. Expected, realistically. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and drop volley for that significant capture, because if I do run across a crippling shot boss, I am happy to go ahead and capture it now. But I want to do this particular quest. Okay. Some of these might be... Oh, good, silk. Oh, good, a tanned hide. I really should have looked at the armor ratings on some of those and maybe not salvaged some of them, but what can you do? My goal right now basically is to do Nornbear, Delesio Seaboard, and Chawbeck Village. Not in that order exactly, but I definitely want the level 20 heroes at this juncture. I think completing Nornbear might unlock Jorah as a hero also, which is not bad. That said, I do want to get the Nightfall heroes before I do Delesio Seaboard, because I want to get them the experience points from Delesio Seaboard. I'll be in an okay spot for doing Delesio, though. My armor is a little bit low for it, but it's not, like, atrocious like it is for here. I do think that this Journey to the North might be compensating for something. That something is my low armor level, incidentally. I love the lighting in this map. It is very good. I'm definitely putting charge on Jorah, though. I like me some move speed buffs for my party. Walking everywhere at normal speed feels treacherous. Frankly, feels treacherous. Easier to dodge around enemy patrols when you're moving faster. Right here? Okay, it doesn't look like it. Always worried about trees. Right here seem to pop up, particularly underneath trees. I'd rather not fight these Jotun, but I think we're going to fight these Jotun. Okay. Correction. I'm going to stand here and look at these Jotun. Nope. Yep. That sure is a bunch of illusion magic that absolutely punishes you for attacking. Oh, hi. I don't know what Baglorag Grumblesnort has for an elite, off the top of my head. But I can guarantee you I do not care about capturing it on this character at this time. Even if I would care about capturing it on this character at a future point in time. Also, Baglorag Grumblesnort is a great name. See, this is why I want charge. Okay, he's Hammer Warrior. So he probably uses a Hammer Elite. Olgreg the Calamitous, I would absolutely do a thing with you, but we're being pursued by Baglorag Grumblesnort, so I will be promptly ignoring you.
Who goes there? Why are you here?
Spirit Roar. Interesting. Punishes enchantments. You actually want Spirit World Retreat to go off because it ends the encounter. So we'll see. If I happen across the boss that has it, cool. If I don't, I don't, and that's fine as well. There's a quest that makes me need to fight it later, and I can always capture it then. Crippling Shot is the skill I'm referring to, by the way. No, no, please. Yeah, he targeted me, and therefore it knocked me down. Frost Spirit is like single-handedly keeping me alive, I'm sure. Oh, there's Corrin. He does seem to show up kind of reliably at this point for reasons that are unknown to me. It's just the way his patrol spawns work out. But I am happy to cap Crippling Shot now. Crippling Shot is one of those skills that I do quite like. But more for nostalgia than because it's actually good. Melandrier Shot is better in PvE, I believe, much of the time. Also, we might have aggroed a few too many Modnir. I don't like what's going on here. Yes, Crippling Shot. Okay, excuse me as I choose to not stand there. Yeah, see, like, this is a great time to Crippling Shot. I love the animation for Crippling Shot, too, because you go into that low stance with it. Well, you can't block this. It's true. This attack can't be blocked. It's part of what makes it so good. You use it with apply poison, and you just snare people like crazy. It's super, super great. Prodigies! Lottery 1! I will be able to afford things now. This Prodigy's insignia is 1,000% getting sold to the trader. Snares are underrated in PvE, but they're still... Also, I basically did one of these in real life when I got that Prodigies. It's worth a crazy amount, so we are selling that to the rune trader as soon as I can. That is a massive win for my my character's bank account, or this account's account. You know what I mean. We'll see how much I'm able to actually do here.
Why are you here?
It takes a lot longer to get around than I expect it to. I think in part because I don't have like incoming fallback to speed that up. Ooh, nice. 69 gold. Some good value on that. Some more Modnir. Man, I really like having multiple interrupts available. Symbiosis is not the problem, guys. You can ignore it. I've almost gotten a level from just like random battles and stuff. Feels like that's been the primary contributor. Actually, Signets of Capture have been pretty big for getting experience now that I think about it.
Never anger a Norn.
Yeah, 17 kills, not surprising. All right. I want prepared shot back in that spot. I'm not sure what I want otherwise, though. I could always bring pin down, but I don't really need that. Throw dirt has some merit, actually, as an emergency button. I'll put throw dirt on.
Who goes there? Never anger a Norn.
Okay, let's sell this Prodigies to Skur first before I worry about anything else.
Why are you here?
Really? That's come down a lot. Wow. Yeah, that's come down a lot. I guess people have been selling things. It's still a substantial amount, though, and it's still a huge win for me. But yeah, that's down, like, it was closer to like 15 at one point. I was definitely expecting a lot more out of it. Yeah, some of these are down. Fascinating. I think Sentinels is up a little bit. Yeah, people like their Beastmaster's insignia. Regardless, it's going to make it easier to afford certain things. Actually,
Anger Norn.
I'm going to go ahead and give Vec his air magic rune. There you go, Vec. If nothing else, it means that I should be able to afford crafting some more max level armor. I just need the materials, and I can potentially get some of those as well. Okay. Let's just keep rolling this team comp for the moment. I wonder. I think this is probably fine.
Never anger a Norn.
I'm pretty close to doing Nornbear, so then I need to do Sunspears and Kainang, which shouldn't be too terrible. I'll be level 15 before long. Yeah. I might buy some tanned hide to make some armor with. I have to see what my options are. And then we get told about Zvonir, which is, you know.
Who goes there?
Okay. More points there, not that it matters. Okay, Boreal Station let me craft. I'm just gonna go see what the requirements are here. Yeah, Tyrian stuff, which is fine except for the part where it needs linen, and linen is not something I have in particularly good supply. This is definitely feeling a pinch on options here, but that's okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do Nornbear for now and worry about armor things at a future date.
Are you
Yeah,
hunting
it's
something?
amazing how much that keeps sliding back on me. I'm ready to face the Nornbear. The thing sliding back on me is this thing that I have on my mouse pad. Like, I can see why it experiences wear there, because it keeps experiencing wear there, but, blocked. Interesting. I'm gonna wait a moment for this to get cleared up. Interesting. The AI is a lot more ready to use Jamie's gaze than it seems to be to use Word of Healing. Which seems like a programmatic error to me, but... These Mindbreakers are the real Okay, I've stopped Visions of Regret for now. No, it's... This one's definitely not great, but it's the other one that's worse. That spams ineptitude and stuff. Well, it's worse for me, I should say. Okay, yeah, you got me there. I don't like getting that. You know, though, it might not actually be a bad idea. I don't want to deal with it. And I don't... Blade turners are the real... Take that, clumsy. Well, don't want to attack through an ineptitude. Attacking through ineptitude is a particularly bad plan of action. I should not have Frenzy on my bar anymore. I'm not really making good use of it. I'm not really making any use of it because any use of it would be bad use right now. Ow. Yeah, I don't need to eat yet. Let's see. I don't like the energy levels of Arden and Vec especially. But man, these Jotun are just no joke. Being able to stop clumsiness is nice. Attacking through ineptitude, less optimal. Sin clearly has Meteor Shower, which I like as a skill, but is a bit tricky to use well. That's a lot of condies. That's why I want Antidote Signet, but against these guys, actually, I want Restore Condition. It's very strong against them. But, well, that's unpleasant. I think she just burnt Meteor Shower on a Spirit of Toxicity, which is greater internet commentary, perhaps, but not especially good strategy in this game. Okay, come on, Nornbear. I know he's there. That was a Sif must have, yeah. Bear formed and then I saw the thing pop there. I appreciate that if you know where the locations are, you don't actually need to go do the thing. Let's see. I wonder how quickly I can get to Chawbeck. The Alessio Seaboard is like right outside LA, so it's a matter of just getting to LA. which, like, my map is kind of funny right now because I don't have down here. Okay, time to fight some more Jotun. I'm definitely over leveled for Chawbeck Village. Chawbeck Village, they expect you to be like level 2. Maybe 3. Okay, Blood Curdlers can be a priority, but Skull Smashers are really annoying. Okay, I'll D-shot Irresistible Blow. I was wanting to hit Giant Stomp, but I was on Interrupt the First Skill I See mode and not pay attention to the skill I'm interrupting mode, which is much harder. Ineptitude guy. Okay, they're out of Giant Stomps anyway. It has, I mean, not out. It has a 30-second recharge, but the fight will probably be over before that's an issue. Yep. Everyone's following this level 15 around. This is a fairly quick one, all told. 8 minutes, so it's going to be less than 15 minutes for it. Okay, well, didn't do a skill there. Yeah, I'm not going to attack through those. It's just a bad idea. Okay, yeah, I'll pick up the 103 gold coins from this guy. It's actually going to be kind of exciting to get back to, or to make my way to Kamdon. I definitely feel like once you get off Shing Jea, your character suddenly is able to go everywhere, and that's a really nice feeling. Also, it's nice to finally have some Ranger Elites unlocked. I'm planning on getting Acolyte Gen on her just because I like the idea of Ranger Squad. Yes, please. Thank you. Champagne. Nice. Okay. We got him. We got our successfully rewarded up. Okay. I believe that unlocked... Yeah, Jorah is now an available hero as well. Okay, we're going to go to Kaineng because I need to go unlock more spaces. Got a proof of legend for that, which was the goal. Okay. I need to go to the pier. Let's grab Guy and Sue. I'm gonna go ahead and do the thing that I was doing elsewhere. Necro. I don't know exactly. I'm gonna allocate your attribute points, but I'm gonna give you 8 blood magic. Do I want tactics or strength more? Actually, tactics, I think. I like watch yourself. We're actually gonna keep most of this. Put on Bip. Symbolic Strike is actually kind of decent. I'm gonna put on Symbolic Strike also. I could put on Barbed Signet instead of Sever Artery. Which would make Symbolic Strike better. You know, I think I'm going to. It's a bit wonky, but... I guess there are 3 signets you can use on the Symbolic Strike, so... Okay, I need to go... Sunspears and Cantha. This will help. We've gotten favor, everyone. Jorah, putting you on guard. Don't like you on too big of an aggro mode. This pier is weirdly designed where it goes like up and then back down. And if you continue over there, you go to a lookout spot. And like, if you were trying to transport cargo to Kaining Center from here, it seems like you'd wonder why there's an unnecessary staircase. This is not well thought out from a logistics standpoint. It's kind of neat geographically from a like traveling through a standpoint, but from a logistics standpoint, it's kind of atrocious. Okay, Menlo's also here, so I just need to come back here later for Menlo. Okay, well, let's do Cormier's path first, because that's what I'm here for. I don't actually know which is a priority direction to go in. Over here is an important one, though. Nope. Okay. We are clearly doing well on the damage front. I kind of want to take off Zojin's shot. I like the damage from it. It's actually not like I have to get that close with the long range of a flat bow, but sometimes I use it and it's like, why am I having to hug this enemy? Okay, 3 rifts remain. I'm gonna go over here. And I'm gonna aggro a bunch of dudes down below that I won't be able to hit, which is not optimal strategy. Okay, this is turning out really poorly. Okay, I've made a tactical error. Does Vec not have a resurrection skill? No, he just wasn't using it. Yeah, okay. Well, we're managing to recover, but that was a deep tactical error. I should not have run over the tops of those enemies. I appreciate that everyone else is more important to resurrect than me, which is probably true. Okay, I'm gonna go around. Jorah's down there. Yeah, I'm just gonna meet up with Jorah. Going atop all those enemies and aggroing them all at once without having a good path for actually attacking them back was a really, really bad tactical choice. Somehow we managed to just barely recover, which I'm thankful for. But yeah, that was messy. Nope, no meteor showers, please. Though honestly, meteor shower is probably less bad than some of its other options. Okay. I take so much damage from that because I have no armor. Except from on my head. Yeah, okay, whatever. We can activate a defensive ability. That's probably not going to do a whole lot. Sure, why not? Okay, well, I stopped one problem. Stairs can be weirdly problematic for bows. It's kind of weird. You can just get obstructed a lot on stairs for no reason that I can discern. There's just some weird geometric issue. Oh, there's a lot of these guys. Okay. That was absolutely a sprint away from your party moment. Ow. I don't have Prot Spirit on my party right now. That's part of the issue that I'm having. Lena had it. I did not think about that. Here we are getting incinerated as a result. Less Torment Slash, please. Okay, victory. Painful, painful, but achieved victory. Highly salvageable. 28 iron ingots is pretty good. Couple of spears there too. Interesting. Okay, so this will allow this will allow me to get to Cormier. Please make me to Commodon. Ilona, land of the golden sun. Thank you. You know, just casually having 8 people over here. Should be able to get Flail out here somewhere, but it doesn't really matter too much where. Yeah, this party is fine for the moment. I need to go this way. I want to pick up these heroes because I need them. I need costs. Thank you for slightly better things. I'm gonna go shoot Acolyte Sasuke in the face with my bow. Thank you. I want Jin. I can actually use my increased duration sprint now, which is nice. I wanted to give charge to Jorah, but I think Bip is probably overall a better choice in terms of overall party support. Yes, yes. I'm going longer than I was kind of originally intending, but that's okay. I really would like to get these things done before the event ends, so... And I don't have that much left to go. Is it the Signalman? I want to make sure I pick up a copy of Nightfalls. Thank you. I need to make sure I pick up the Eye of the North things as well, but... Okay, yeah, for now I'm just gonna run over to pick up Jin. I'll worry about hero stuff when I go to elsewhere. Back to Commandant. I'm not really doing any conflicts or anything right now. So. Just want that zone portal. See it under the water. I have to go around this way because under the water there's a big blockage. Big dumb blockage. Hope for a chunk of Drake flesh. Rarely get a chunk of Drake flesh. You know, that's the life. Excuse me, bug. Can't do anything about Imagine Burden. Soothing Images does nothing to me because I don't use any adrenaline right now. But it's very annoying when you do use adrenaline. Okay, I'm just gonna get Jin with these guys because I don't feel like setting up my heroes just yet. We'll clear out my inventory setting them up though, that's for sure. I don't need this Jin's hornbow. Not Acolyte Jin's hornbow, but that is amusing. I guess I theoretically could give it to her to use. It'd be fitting, even if it's probably weaker than what she's already got, maybe. Definitely getting her a better weapon will be a priority, but not a hard one to accomplish by any stretch of the imagination. I am absolutely stomping these crubs. I do get 5% armor penetration on attack skills because of having 5 strength. Which is neat. I know. I'll definitely want to do the attribute point quests next time I stream on this character. Okay. I can now go to Sundocks and grab her. Yeah, whatever. Worry about those details in a moment. Okay. And Dunkoro. Costs. They gave him these things that are slightly better. Don't need these things that are absolutely atrocious. How is this? 11 to 17. Probably pretty comparable, honestly. Then these things are for other characters, so I'm going to stick them over there for now. Right, bars. Jin. I don't want to give you any wilderness survival right now because I think it's not ideal. Oh yeah, you get to do both of these. And do I have... I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Read the wind, prepared shot. Yeah, I don't have Savage right now, which is fine. Antidote Signet is fine. I'll make you slash monk and give you resurrect and remove hacks. Dunkoro. I think I might... I don't normally like Orison, but I think I might leave it on him because he's an idiot. He doesn't know how to use his skills. And will absolutely spam Jamie's gaze if you give him a chance to do so. That's what I'm looking for right there. Resurrect. Sure, that's fine. Don't know why you have Mighty Blow, but you then don't have the requisite stuff to make it any good. Yeah, how about Savage Slash and For Great Justice? Yeah, that's definitely some bars that I've got going on. Okay, need to go this way, need to talk to this guy, do the hero training, Chobek Village, and then Delesio Seaboard. I believe command training is mandatory. Isn't that nice right there? That's the good stuff. Cost yelling at you to run faster. Don't have 100% uptime with it, but it is still an improvement. Let's see. Somewhere like there. I've done this a bunch lately too. It's always nice to get these things taken care of and out of the way, you know? Need to wait for this meter to change. Scale tooth. That's the direction I need to go, towards area 2. Okay, he did use it. Good. Clear these, or more accurately, capture area 3. And then he can go to the other spot. Secco. I always end up streaming this longer than I intend to because stuff takes longer than I expect it to, and I have goals that can't be completed so simply. I have 347 gold. I have 348 gold. I wanted to see how much it went up by when I picked that up. I knew it wouldn't be much. This is 33% speed buff, by the way. This is 25%. The cap is 33, but singular skills can always exceed caps, which is kind of a neat little aspect of the design of this game. Okay, historian, we are ready to go see what happened here. By which I mean I'm ready to talk to First Spear Judagar. Judagar? I know, he's also level 15, so whatever. I don't have the Marbles. There it is. I'm gonna put him at the border of that spot. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn these guys onto a fight and see if that clears that out, whole area out a little bit more. This mission is so quick. It's like under 2 minutes. It's really nice. I normally bring an Elian here, so this might be a little bit slower. Okay. I'm gonna go turn this into Castellan Puba because why not? More marksmanship. Excellent. We're not going to do that right now, though. We're going to travel to Kining Center. Everybody's favorite. Talcora, Milani, Vec, and Gwen. Okay. First things first, Talcora. You're mildly better equipment. Milani, you're definitely better equipment. Okay, Talcora, I do like being prot. Get out of here. Skills I don't want. Let's give you Shield of Regen and Guardian, this guy, and Glyph of Lesser to help with your energy costs. Guess what? You're being pious, because that's literally the only Dervish elite I have right now. Also, you have way too much Earth Prayers, and should be putting that in your Scythe and Mysticism. Yeah, your Mighties. Do. Oh, that imbue health is amazing right now, but it's fine. Okay. I need to clear out my inventory, but I'm not gonna do that. This character's inventory is vast, and I need to get to this pier so I can talk to Menlo. And then from there, I can get to Kryta. And from there, I can get to Delesia's Seaboard, which is not the fastest mission, but is probably the fastest one in proximity to me. Definitely is scattered all over the place, though. Yeah, is this another, like, 20 minutes, maybe? Half an hour? Longer than I intended? We'll go with longer than I intended. That is what it is. Hi. Okay. Thank you for your walls of text. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm not against a good wall of text, but, like, there are times when you want to read them and times you do not. No. Just sign my import papers. Immigration papers, whatever these are. Line guard and arrow. Yep. Okay, you dropped me off over here, which is fine. Yeah, I don't care about Galrath's villainy. I do care about Gordon Ecker's stuff. Also, hello everybody hanging out in LA. That's nice. I would like an empty copy of Flameseeker Prophecies. Armin. Yes, please. That is my objective right now. Look at all these fine folks hanging out, dancing and stuff. Where am I storing these? Over here. A lot of this is just stuff that needs to get merged. That storm artifact is not worth diddly squat. Okay, yeah. All this is stuff that needs to be merged, and I'm not going to do that here. Okay. I'm going to ignore Lion Guard Riddick's quest. I can always do that later. I'm definitely a little under armored. Over leveled and under armored. This is more like a level 12 area. Acolyte Jin's appropriately leveled. Oh yeah, I'm definitely over weapons though. Yeah, I'm hitting for way big numbers. Okay, let's just keep going. I'm definitely not doing the bonus here, by the way. The bonus is a massive pain in the rear end. Oh, this is going to be so slow if I can't just... Do I leave, like... Milani and Talcora with him? Probably. And then take the other 3 with me? Sounds reasonable. Like, this is one of those missions where you can kind of go around and finish it faster as a result. This would definitely be a nice time to have an avatar skill, but I don't have any, so... Is this Holy Rod... I'm gonna hang on to that for a moment. It might be better than some of the other nonsense I've got going on with some of my characters. Ooh, exactly 9.5. That's cool. Okay, let's enter this mission. Yeah, this might take a little bit longer than I want. This would definitely be a good spot to have barbs, now that I'm thinking about it. And just because we have so many physical attackers, my party is like physical attackers and monks. So things that help physical attackers like barbs would be pretty good. Movement speed buffs. Well, we have charge that affects the whole party, but that's often on cooldown. And is often being on cooldown precisely because of it's being used to help our movement. Bird shot is definitely being useful energy management for me. These guys are going to be real pains in my ability to do stuff. Blinded. Some of these armor buffing skills are definitely helping me. Okay, we need to save Hakewood from grasping ghouls and other assorted undead. Definitely like a random morale boost. No earthquakes, thanks. This is general life philosophy. No earthquakes. I am killing that thing's minions something fierce. Okay, there are too many bone minions. I want to get after the actual thing I need to be targeting. Hmm. Do we need to clear out these guys? I don't remember. Whatever, we've cleared out the most pressing issue at the moment. So hopefully they'll let us through, eh? We all have bones in our heads if you think about it. Some people also have metal in their heads. I think a friend of mine actually has some metal in his head, now that I think about it. Okay, yeah. Need to go around a little bit more than that. Although I wish it was not a little bit more than that. It is simply, actually is. This would be a really good spot to have holy damage, which I was mentioning earlier in a slightly different way. Shield of Regen is a really strong skill, which is why it costs 15 energy, which is probably about 3 more energy than it should be. I'm not sure if 10 is appropriate for it. $15 feels like a little too much. That's one of the things that, like, is an interesting point of conversation. I haven't talked about it in a while, but just like the energy costs in this game, I can't think of many reasons why they wouldn't just be able to set them to whatever arbitrary value they want. Like, you could set Mend Ailment to 7 energy if you preferred, or whatever. And I definitely feel like several skills would warrant a little bit different energy costs. Like, Orson of Healing is probably a 3 or 4 energy skill, not a 5 energy skill. But the problem with diversifying skills is then players have to process the range more, and it makes it harder to directly compare skills. Whether or not that would be advantageous is going to be pretty subjective. But ArenaNet clearly thought, because I doubt there's a technical reason why they have to be bracketed the way that they are. But, like, there's no 20 energy skills, right? Energy costs are 0, 1, which was added later, which is proof that they could diversify them. But 0, 1, 5, 10, 15, and 25. They don't have 20 energy skills. Of course, skills can cost other energy amounts. Expertise, for example. And mysticism, both lower energy costs. For select skills. So I think the game's balance could have been improved, arguably, by having a wider variety of costs, but that has its own issues. So, okay, I want to flag. That should be Talcora and Milani. Yeah, I want Talcora and Milani to protect them, while the rest of us go elsewhere. So this is basically Milani's damage show. But there's some knights and stuff around. And these undead are relatively small in numbers, so... I say, as we're getting absolutely bombarded with hordes of them. But I mean, what we're doing here is going to also decrease what she's dealing with over there, so. Okay, those guys are running past us. It's not unwelcome. The main thing that they need to do is keep Confessor Dorian alive, which I have every confidence they will be able to do while we go clear out this area. But I don't want to push it either. There we go. That's probably the most important part there. Okay, that irresistible sweep knocking me over is really annoying. Okay, now I just need to go talk to Dynas, and this mission is over. Which is faster than I expected it to be. Honestly. But... yay! Now I need to figure out exactly what I want to do with all of my proofs, but I have succeeded in getting the remaining 3. Where was I sticking them? Yep, the remaining 3 that I needed. So I'm happy about that. Alright, once I figure out what I'm doing with these, that's going to be where I'm ending this stream. No longer a nice even number there, but that's okay. Okay, I was talking about potentially getting her the expertise weapon, which I don't know if that's what I want to do or not. I'll grab Generous Horde, and who's our bounty today? Stygian Lords, yeah, how about no? So I believe I already have the monk weapon on the 10th, the Decade monk weapon. So which one of these would I most want? I don't have to get something for her, to be clear. Or, yeah, for her, to be clear. A lot of these caster ones I'm not that interested in. I could see getting Sun's Revolution on this character. But that doesn't matter too terribly much to me. I could get Prominence, which could be interesting, but also, like, maybe not that notable. Whisper has some desire to it. I was wanting to get Arbalist. Maybe I still will. Maybe I'll just pick up Arbalist for my warrior. That is kind of what I was wanting most, so. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just go ahead and put these in my bank, swap over my warrior, and grab Arbalist. Because the expertise sword is neat, but I feel like Arbalist provides more utility. And I would like that utility. Man, I feel like I made a lot of progress on that ranger today, let me tell you. Okay, that's fine. I'll figure out how I'm arranging my inventory later. She has some stuff to give to a certain Mesmer hero. I'll just put the broken flute over there for now. Alright, this is going to be the last thing I get from this, probably. Certainly the last thing I get on stream. It's going to be Arbalist. Which is much better to just generically have on Sun's Revolution. Because Arbalist scales with my strength. So... Alright, well, I'm going to pop to my guild hall and sign off. Like I said, this is going to be the last stream for a while, because I have just going to be busy with stuff until partway through May. But I do want to come back to it. I do want to do more of these. I feel like I'm finally escaping everybody doing beginner stuff, and things are opening up, and I'm starting to get some elite skills, and this Acolyte Jin can finally get an elite. Probably just do that. So that's very exciting news. That felt good to be able to slot an elite into her. So thank you all very much for watching. Until next time, everyone, take care and goodbye.